Good morning, good morning, good morning. What a beautiful morning. And guess what? It's Father's Day. So, if we're not a father, all of us have had a father in this room. And hopefully, we have any aliens. Well, even aliens have fathers, so anyway. What a beautiful day it is, too. And I'm telling you, feel the energy. I hope you feel the energy because we have just gone through a shift, whether you know it or not. The solstice. That's a lot of energy was generated around the solstice. As I said before, happy Father's Day. Welcome to Unity Church of Light. And you know, we've taken a quantum leap, haven't we? Because it is mid-June. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh. Where has the year gone? You know, what an amazing year so far. And I hope you're taking advantage of all the happenings of this year. You know, this is a year of endurance, don't you think? I think. Yeah. Because we faced the biggest challenge that we faced as a universe, really, that I know of. I don't want to put that out there. That I know of. We faced a huge challenge. But you know what? No matter what we've been through, no matter how great it's been, no matter how challenging it's been for us, there's only one presence and one power in the universe, and that's God. Nothing is greater. Now, I know you keep saying that every Sunday. I've heard that every Sunday now for about 3 months. Yes, because I remind myself constantly, moving through the experiences of this universe, and I want everyone within the sound of my voice to remind themselves, because when you know that there's something that's greater than what the eye can see, it gives you character. It makes you strong. You can stand in that truth. Today I'm talking about strength. You know, every time I think about strength, I think about growing up and I thought my father is the strongest man in the world. Look at him open those cans. Look at him pick me up. Look at him pick my mom up. He's got to be the strongest man in the world. When you're a child, everything seems so grand, doesn't it? Well, the strength that I'm talking about this morning is not that type of strength. The strength that I'm talking about this morning, in David Hasselbeck's and Cher Houghton's book, those are Unity writers, and they wrote a book called Power Up. And in that book they write, strength is the ability to endure. Strength is the ability to stay the course. Strength is the ability to be persistent, to persevere, and to be stable based on ideas, truths, principles, and laws that are divine in nature. We use strength to be persistent. We use strength to be the best Christ self we can be, don't we? According to this definition we have here, we all know about physical strength. I just got back to aerobics class and everything, building those muscles and But we know about that strength that we gain through exercise, don't we? But on the flip side of that coin, There's another kind of strength. There's a strength that is built through exercising what? Our faith. There's a strength that's built through grasping the ideas of the attributes that we have in us that are gifts from God and exercising those. How many exercised their love this morning? Yeah. Your wisdom, because you're sitting in here, so that's wisdom. Your zeal, because you jumped up this morning. Well, at least I hope some of us jumped up this morning.
Maybe some of us will.
Once we had our coffee, we jumped up and we said, this is the day that the Lord has made. We're exercising those attributes, and we can exercise strength in the same manner. Now, I want to give you some of my favorite scriptures about strength. Ephesians 6:10 says, be strong in the Lord and the power of his might. What is that all about? Well, if you don't know who you are, if you don't know that you live and move in and have your being in spirit, then you may not understand what the scripture is trying to tell you. It's telling you to stand in your power because it's in you. No matter what you face, it's in you to be persistent and persevere and move through that. Yes, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. You know, we have that aspect of us that's human, and sometimes those little doubts and fears and stuff creep in, don't they? But if you want them to vanish, find you some truth to stand on. I like this one. Be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. The Lord isn't out here. It's in you, and therefore, if it's in you, you have that power also. Another favorite of mine is, the Lord is my light and my salvation. This is a part I love. Whom shall I fear? You know, in those moments when that fear may creep in, or just in an instant, you can turn that around and know the Lord is my light. In other words, light illumines everything. It brings you a clearer picture. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? It also goes on to say the Lord is the strength of my life. That energy is in you. That attribute of strength is in you. Whom will I be afraid? This is good stuff for today, isn't it? This is good stuff because look at all the stuff that's swirling around us. This is good stuff to get this in you and affirm this truth. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Whom shall I be afraid? Nothing. Nothing. Not even what they're labeling as a pandemic. Not even the restlessness of the country. We have that power of strength within us. Let's exercise it so that strength muscle will grow strong. And we can leave this chapel and stand in the face of whatever may come up and try to knock us down. I like this one here. This is, let's see, this is Isaiah 30 and 15. And it reads, in returning, that word is important, in returning and rest, you shall be saved. In quietness and in trust shall be your strength. Well, that hits us right on the head because we all know about getting quiet and turning within, don't we? We're all returning to our true nature because to date we may have been, some of us may have been living in the world of appearances and going by what we're seeing and tasting, smelling, and all that, instead of turning within and knowing the truth. So in returning and rest, in getting to know who you truly are, and in taking the time to take that deep breath and meditate and absorb and feel that energy running through you, that's your redeeming grace. That's my grandmother used to love the song, something about saving grace, and that's our saving grace. Not anything out here that's gonna make us, but the thing that to get to know that in here, inside, we are saved by the wisdom and the knowledge and the intuitiveness of spirit, because we're part of that whole. And when we grasp that, oh my, our lives just take off, don't they? That joy that is always in our hearts moves and stirs in that love, and we reach out in compassion and empathy to everyone whom we meet. We have an understanding that we're all one. I love that. In quietness and in trust shall be your strength. Not in hooping and hollering and saying these affirmations all over the place, but in quietness and in quietness and in trust shall be our strength. You got to get that trust factor in there too. What do you believe? Do you trust that Spirit is in you? If not, we got work to do. And I'm here to help you do it, because I'm working on it myself to stay centered and focused in truth. So, how do we survive in this constantly changing world of ours? How do we be strong when so much is coming towards us at once? Well, we have to draw on what's in us. We came on this earth plane fully equipped with everything we need. Do you believe that? Good. We came fully equipped, but we don't always feel like we're equipped to make it through certain things, do we? You got to get it deep within you, the truth of your being. And you know what? Once you begin to do that, no matter what's happening, that faith factor kicks in, and you know that you're going to be all right. You know that all is, well, like Pat, you probably was meant to talk about divine order, because you know that all is in divine order. All is moving as it should. We have to do our role and dig into that wisdom within us and go with that flow. Sounds easy, doesn't it? Yeah, but it's not. It's not. And that's why we're talking about strength this morning, because it takes strength to move through those things. It takes strength to persevere. It takes strength to keep on the path. And that strength is in you. You see, we can have all the physical strength in the world, but when we come up with against the unimaginable, that strength within is what gets us through these appearances. You know, I don't know about you, this Father's Day, I want to be a good example for those youth of today, for those coming up. I want to walk the path so they'll see walking the path is not something to be afraid of or thinking you're going to be restricted in life, but it's joy, it's love, it's peace, it's opening up, it's being your true authentic self. And that's what I want to show the children of today. And that's what I hope all the fathers and the mothers are showing the children of today. In the book Divine Audacity, Linda Martella Winsett defines strength as our capacity to stand undaunted, unmoved in the midst of shifting circumstances, and to act courageously and stay the course. Sounds like she knew that today was coming. Because that's exactly what we need to do. Charles Fillmore taught that spiritual strength always overcomes the seemingly strong personality, the strong personal and material conditions. Spiritual strength always overcomes the seemingly strong personal material conditions. You know, when I thought about that statement, a great example of that is David and Goliath. We all know that story, don't we? David said to Goliath, the giant, "You come to me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come to you in the name of the Lord." In other words, he dug within himself for the strength that he needed to slay the dragon or the giant. So what's in you today? You know, we can take a lot from these Bible stories. What Goliath is in you today? If you have something in your life that you feel is unsurpassable, that you're not able to make it through that activity, then dig into this thing called strength, this attribute that's within you. The quiet strength will help you through the appearances of dis-ease. It will help you through the period of restlessness in our country. If we send the vibrations out, they'll catch hold and catch people up and hold them in the light and in the love. When I think about strength, there are three things that Linda gives us when she talks about the story of David and Goliath. And if you don't have that book, I like her account of that story. And I thought about, and she gives us three components that I thought of when I went through this. One of them is stability. Stability. Strength gives us stability when we dig into it, when we grasp it and hold it. She says stability, which is rooted or anchored to a firm foundation. Strength helps us to become stabilizing. Our capacity to anchor ourselves firmly in truth of unlimited source is through calm and balance. And we gain that when we hold on to that attribute of strength. Another one is courage. Courage is very important to the power of strength because you have to have the courage to stay the course. When everyone else is doing what everyone else is doing, courage is that in you that dares you to be different. You know, we don't often want to veer from what other people are doing, but in this instance, in today's world and what's going on today, I want to be the different one. And I invite a lot of others to join and dare to be different. Tenacity. I like that word, don't you? Tenacity. What is that? Perseverance, persistence, and stamina. Tenacity is our staying power. It's that thing where we're never going to give up. We're going to continue to walk the path of truth. And you know what? We also have to throw courage in here, because courage, you have to have the power to walk away when it doesn't feel right. Oh, I walked in the Coleman race a few years ago. And I like how it showed me all of these things, stability. There are some strong people who walk that race, men and women. And when I think about that, I think, to have the strength to be facing something that they face, but to boldly walk through that experience. I'm going to give you this morning an affirmation. And in preparing ourselves for going into meditation, I want us to take this affirmation with us. I want us to hold on to it. I want us to let it soak deep within. And the affirmation is, I am strong, stable, and steadfast in body, mind, and spirit. I am strong, stable, and steadfast in body, mind, and spirit. I am strong, stable, and steadfast in body, mind, and spirit. You know what? That's a gift. That's your Father's Day gift. Holding to that thought. I am strong, stable, and steadfast in body, mind, and spirit. And that's what we want to show the youth of today. Let's take a moment and let's turn within, because we said strength comes from what? Rest. It comes from rest, and it comes from returning to our origin, which is spirit. And in preparing for meditation, let's affirm this prayer given to us by Jesus Christ. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And leave us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. And in thinking of those words, there's strength in those words. There's strength in those words, and as we build on that, take a deep breath and release. And relax into this moment right here, right now. We'll never get another moment like this exact moment right now. So breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in spirit and all the things and attributes of life. Releasing anything that we no longer need, that no longer support our spiritual world. So we breathe in and we breathe out, making this inward journey. In us is what we need to move through these experiences on this earthly planet. In us is wisdom. In us is power. In us is strength. And our taking a moment apart this morning is all a part of the process of resting and trusting the Spirit within. No matter what you're doing, no matter what you need, know that within you is that can sustain you through this experience called life. Breathing in and breathing out, knowing that there is nowhere we can be that God is not. And so we can rest. We can rest in this knowing. We can rest in this flow. And we come to that point deep within where we step over the threshold of our inner chamber and immediately we're enveloped with unconditional love, with peace that passes all understanding, with strength that gives us the ability to stand fast. Breathing in and breathing out, knowing we've come to that point within where we can just be the spiritual beings we were created to be. And so we take a moment to sit by the still waters and soak in all that has been prepared for us in the quiet. Through the Christ within, I am all that I can be. and knowing that I have partaken of what I need to sustain me in this moment, this day, this week, this month, this century. I give thanks for all the gifts that I have received in the quiet. And in giving thanks, I increase these gifts, and so I reach out and touch my universe and all that is around and about and within it. And as I prepare to return to the presence of this room, I do so knowing I am strong, stable, and steadfast in body, mind, and spirit. Feel the energy. Feel the power moving within you. It's all there and available for your usage. I am strong, stable, and steadfast in body, mind, and spirit. And I thank you, Holy Spirit, for life, breath, movement of limbs, for being in the awareness that your presence is always within me, inspiring me to be the best that I can be. So for this and all things, to just say, thank you, God. Thank you.